Tonight on Q2, Jesse deserves justice. A missing persons case is now a homicide investigation as authorities zero in on human remains. Plus, caught in the crosshairs.
Hopefully, they'll either learn the language or get out of the industry.
Jobs of some truck drivers could be in jeopardy after the latest executive order requires them to be proficient in English. And worries about reckless driving.
Your time, slow down, be a responsible driver, pay attention to what you're doing, pay attention to everyone else around you.
Montana leads the nation in a sobering statistic, but what can be done to stop it? The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday night. It's good to be with you. I'm Don Hudson. Tonight, a Billings family feeling a step closer to closure as police turn a missing persons case into a homicide investigation. Jesse Lamar Johnson went missing from South Billings in February of last year, with family and friends fearing foul play from the very beginning. Now, as our David J. explains, they feel they might get justice for a life lost too soon.
Jesse Johnson used to spend a lot of time at the Hope Center basketball courts, where family and friends held a vigil last year. At that time, they feared foul play. A family friend relayed a statement from Johnson's mother, Emma Lena Brock Prince.
It has been a long, very hard, torturous year and some change with no answers. Many nights with no sleep and lots of anxiety, not knowing where her son's body is, but knowing that he has met his maker.
The Billings police are asking landowners along the Pryor Creek drainage between Pryor and Huntley to be aware of human remains. Emmalina Brock Prince also expressed gratitude to detectives who investigated. Stacy Limberhand also gave a statement from Johnson's sister, Clarina Johnson.
This has broken her family in so many ways, especially her being the oldest sibling. She is just devastated and hopes that this will bring light to many other families who have lost loved ones in maybe similar tragic ways.
Jesse Lamar Johnson was reported missing in February of last year, and he left behind daughters, one in middle school, one in elementary school.
He was hoping to get into a halfway house or to get accepted back into the treatment facility. And, it was just it's unfortunate that he trusted these people one last time.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
New details tonight surrounding a Billings student taken into custody for what police say were threats made against a school. Now, those with School District 2 say the threat was actually made last night against the Billings Career Center. Police were called in, helped the district identify the student. At the time, police say there was no immediate danger to students or staff. Billings Police Chief Rich St. John credited a team effort to bring that situation to a conclusion before any threat played out.
Officers investigated throughout the night, ended up locating this high school age kid and made an arrest. Certainly inappropriate on what was taking place, and we believe that the threat was credible and acted appropriately.
Now, the Billings Police Department continuing its investigation, including going through phone and social media accounts. Speeding, swerving, and not paying attention. Law enforcement says that reckless driving is a constant problem on city streets, on intersections, and our highways. MTN's Hannah Pettiferi explains just how bad the problem is here in Montana and what can be done to reduce it.
You're responsible for yourself, your passengers, and everyone else on the street at the same time.
Value Penguin, an insurance locator company, conducted a study surrounding reckless driving statistics from 2018 to 2022 and found Montana had the highest rate of reckless driving fatalities. In fact, compared to the national average, Montana's rate was 5 times higher.
These numbers alone are pretty significant.
Researchers analyzed crashes where drivers were recorded operating their vehicles in an erratic, reckless, or negligent manner. And in Montana, reckless driving is the intent to drive recklessly, whether that's excess speeding or weaving through traffic unsafely.
If you're, in a 25-mile-an-hour zone and you're going 50 miles an hour, weaving in and out of traffic, you're putting everyone else in danger at that. So that can be something that's deemed reckless driving.
Billings Police Sergeant Stovall said locally they get a lot of complaints of reckless driving on Shiloh Road, King Avenue, and Grand.
People like to, pretend it's a racetrack and go around the roundabouts quickly and that stuff. And we've had fatalities all along Shiloh Road. So it's not It's strictly due to the erratic driving behavior of people that are driving.
Rob Bott, an insurance analyst, explained that people may think they're good drivers, but it only takes one person to cause all kinds of harm.
Most people do the right thing behind the wheel. Unfortunately, it only takes one reckless, irresponsible individual to cause a tragedy.
With the weather warming up, more construction zones are popping up. Sergeant Stovall said while construction can slow things down, it's important to plan ahead or take a different route.
It's not worth it putting someone else at risk to be 5 minutes late, 5 minutes early, whatever it may be. Take your time, slow down, and drive safe.
Driving experts say the key to driving safely is to remember these three things. Keep your eyes on the road, keep your hands on the steering wheel, and keep your mind on the road. In Billings, Hannah Pettiferry, MTN News.
For the safety of all of us, the Trump administration is demanding truck drivers know how to read and speak English. President Trump says there's already an existing federal law, but one that hasn't really been enforced in years, so he signed an executive order requiring English proficiency. Tonight, our Haley Monaco reports on the possible impacts this could have on Montanans and how we receive our goods, and what it could mean for the loss of jobs in a critical service.
Everything is delivered to you by truck drivers. If trucks just magically disappeared, then our entire way of life and everything we know about it would cease to exist.
Nearly 20% of U.S. truck drivers are foreign-born, and if they're not proficient in English, they could soon be out of their job as a result of the executive order.
You need to assimilate to our country and speak our language.
Longtime truck driver Shannon Mahaney believes President Donald Trump's order will improve safety on roads.
You need to be able to understand the street signs. You need to be able to understand your directions on where you're going.
Legacy Corporation International Trucking Academy President Adam Grill says the requirement of English speaking already exists in the commercial truck driving industry.
Really, it's nothing new. I think that's important for people to know that it's actually been around a long time.
But in the order signed on Monday, Trump says it has not been enforced in years.
Hopefully, they'll either learn the language or get out of the industry.
When you have drivers who don't understand the language, can't communicate, it makes them more dangerous.
In an industry with many foreign-born drivers, the impacts on operations are unknown, as the mandate won't take effect until June.
A very large portion of our industry are individuals that speak languages other than English. So it's going to have an impact, and it's hard to tell what that long-term economic impact will be. I don't think that that means that we should only have Americans driving trucks. My grandparents were immigrants, so I don't think there's that should be a barrier, but I do think that, especially for highway safety and for uniformity in the industry, it's a good thing.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Today, President Trump hosted an event at the White House focusing on the economic success during his first 100 days in office. However, a new report on the gross domestic product, which measures the total values of goods and services produced within the country, says it's actually going in the wrong direction. That data showed the worst first quarter performance in 3 years, but the president was quick to dismiss the report.
Came in on January 20th. So this is Biden. And you could even say the next quarter is sort of Biden.
The Trump administration says that GDP numbers also show momentum from job growth and trillions of dollars in new investments right here in the United States. Meanwhile, the Senate failed to pass a bill to terminate the emergency and nullify the tariffs. The White House previously said the president would veto that legislation if it had passed anyway.
Throughout the day, we went from periods of rain showers to sunshine, back to the rain showers. Sometimes it was raining and the sun was out at the same time. But now as we take a look with the Stockman Bank weather cam, temperatures today were close to seasonal averages. We started off a little bit warmer than average and ended up at 57, 4 degrees below the average. Top wind gust almost 30 miles an hour. We picked up an additional 0.03 of an inch of precipitation from those off and on showers today. So check it out. For the month of April, we ended up almost double of what we would normally see, and we're way ahead average for the year as well. As we get into May, the outlook right now is kind of leaning towards wetter than average, but overall there are not strong signals as far as how much precipitation we can expect. But it's a different situation when it comes to temperatures. Very strong signals that we could be average or above average temperatures overall for the month of May. We'll take a look at the short-term forecast coming up in a few minutes from now.
Flashing lights, life flight, and emergency vehicles will be surrounding the Billings Career Center tomorrow, but there's no reason to worry. It's all part of a training session where students will be able to see first responders in action as they work the scene of a simulated multi-vehicle car crash. Now, for the event, multiple Career Center vehicles will be flipped on their sides. Dummies will be placed inside the vehicles. A staff member will then make a mock 911 call with first responders arriving on the scene to extricate the victims. The Montana National Guard will also be landing one of its medical helicopters on the City College lawn as part of the training. School District 2 says 2 community service officers will be at the event as well to help with any potential traffic concerns.